Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Let's take a quick look at SUI, SUI, whatever you want to call it. It's not looking so sweet right now. There's no doubt about it. All jokes aside, I mean, we are looking at essentially establishing lower lows here so far. Hasn't recovered quite as well as majority of other coins have. A lot of coins are starting to rally towards their local low, where this coin, honestly, not looking so good. So what I'm still on the lookout for is a fake out here above this short-term descending trend line, potentially to consider a short of the 250 range. That's just proven to be a very strong resistance. So just bear in mind that's kind of where we're at there. That may not happen though. Bearish rectangles notoriously break down. However, we haven't even had a second retest of that 250 level. So there's a lot of little things going on here. Very early to tell though, but at this point, I would be on the lookout for a fake out if we get closer to 250. It feels like it should be one of those scenarios that we'd probably see the price action rip back down once we revisit that level. But we also got to recognize too, we don't just blindly jump into a short position at 250. Between now and then, a lot can happen, right? So we want to reevaluate and see what's going on. Same thing with Bitcoin too. Obviously, we need to know what Bitcoin's doing at that point. For right now, Bitcoin's still struggling, still under some key fib levels. Some macro points of control here locally at like 84,000. So until we clearly close above the 84 to 85K range, I'm not convinced that we're back on track, even on the short term. Okay, that's just a short-term reversal, not even a macro trend reversal. Anyways, I'm mentioning all this because sometimes people just kind of get they get focused on one thing at a time. They're stuck on this coin and they fail to recognize that a lot of other things are factoring in. So that's why we look at this here. Liquidation, a lot more to the downside, folks. Like we are super close to trillions. Well, sorry, trillions is a bit of exaggeration, but each one of these bars, these red bars here, are $500 million. So there's a lot of liquidation here left on the table for market makers to eat up. And the reason why they do that isn't just to destroy your account. I mean, I'm sure that's probably something they enjoy, but it's mainly to destroy any opposition. So if they continue to push the price action down, and they can, then they'll just buy at a lower price and the price pumps right back up and they take tons of profit. It's just a consistent rinse and repeat. So for right now, the overall trend is down. We got to recognize that. And 170, best case scenario, I feel, because I have a pretty huge limit order there. I don't think that's necessarily going to happen, but it could. And if it does, I'll be ready. So maybe consider the same thing for you. And just bear in mind too, spot bags is probably the way to go for right now. I think trading with leverage on this coin is not the best call just because the price action is so terrible. And what I mean by terrible is it's mainly derived from Bitcoin being such a pain in the ass considering how stupid the whole world is right now, specifically i.e. tariff trade wars and all that. Anyways, 300 million, about maybe 250 million in liquidation delta to the downside, implying that taking along against that isn't always the best consideration. Keep in mind, prices do typically pump when you see this kind of overextension. So when you have too much liquidation in one direction, market makers know that. They want to push the price in the opposite direction. They'll just flood billions of dollars into this coin, pump the price action up, trap late longs, short all the way back down. It's a common theme, okay? Having said that, we can see liquidation delta, this is open interest. We don't have a ton of open interest below the price action. So buyers are not present. We're not seeing a lot of buying pressure. That's half the reason why the price is so stalled out. So until we see volume flowing into this coin, even though you can argue there's more volume flowing in, but it's less in a lot of ways based on the simple fact that the price action is lower. It's not really a good call to consider trading this coin. So at this point here, let's take a look at the daily, recognize that we're below all moving averages, short-term descending trend, macro trend. There's a lot of reasons why we're not back on track. We're still under all moving averages. There's zero reasons to take a trade based on the macro. Just know this is not the same. I'm not hating on this coin. It's literally the same thing for most coins right now. There's very few outliers, unless you're trading GameStop, for example, right? It's kind of a joke, but actually not really. So take a look here at the 4-hour time frame. We can recognize below all moving averages, there's a lot of confluence at the 240 to 235 range. We got our 0.618 fib level above us. There's a distinct probability we go lower. In fact, we're working into a smaller channel here. This is also a bearish rectangle channel where the price action is effectively breaking down. So you could argue that we're bearishly rectangular at this point here, and the inevitability is for the price to continue lower, right? A lot of it depends on Bitcoin, of course. So my personal thoughts right now, after analyzing Bitcoin earlier today, which I do every single day, make sure you tune in for that, is that Bitcoin will probably have a slow relief rally to 84, 85,000. We have a ton of confluence there in that range of resistance. And historically, this year, we've seen 12 out of 13 red weekends. They almost always start the same with a nice green Friday. I mean, Friday today is almost break even, but it's still green in a sense. It's not blood red, right? And notoriously, we see either Saturday night, Sunday morning, sometime along the late weekend, there is a significant amount of selling pressure that comes flooding out of the market. You know, money flows away. So just know that statistically, we're likely to see that happen. If this coin cannot recover between now and then, it will probably break down further, okay? Hourly time frame, we're just going to get some confirmations here letting us know that we're still on the wrong side of the tracks here. There's no reason to take a long position, and that this is completely upside down, okay? So I wouldn't recommend a trade of this coin, period, because I think shorting this coin is a high risk consideration. And then, of course, taking a long is also high risk considering the market just sucks right now. So it's just not good timing. And that's the simple way to understand it. And if you're frustrated by that, I get it, the market sucks. But you shouldn't be frustrated by the fact that there's no opportunity here, because the simple fact that that's how the market is. 95% of trading should be resulting in this. I don't like what I see here. I'm not going to trade today. That's just how it should work. Anyways, not everyone feels the same, and that's okay, but those are just my ways of doing things. And just a quick little thanks and congrats to our community here too. We got some nice profit from our Solana long at about 21%. It seems hypocritical, I know, but most of the trades have been taken lately that have been highly successful are mainly just based on manipulation, not even tactical analysis, okay? So you pretty much do almost the opposite of what you think is logical from a technical analysis standpoint, and it should work. So with that mindset, hypothetically a long should play out right now, but it's a Friday, it's almost a weekend, not a good call. All right, hope that makes sense. Join us over on Twitter, Telegram, and Discord, and obviously make sure you reference Bitunix, folks. Phenomenal exchange, link down below. These guys are awesome. I only like to promote them because they've been so good to our community, and they have monthly trading competitions and bonuses. It's just an awesome, awesome experience. So appreciate that. We'll look forward to seeing you on the next one. Have a good rest of your day. Take care out there. Bye-bye.